Imagine standing in a room of 100 adults, each person with their own dreams, ambitions, and stories. Some are just starting out, others are well into their careers, and a few may already be thinking about retirement. Now picture this. Out of all these people, only a tiny handful will ever reach a net worth of $2 million or more in their lifetime. Statistically, only 5 or 6 will ever cross that threshold. That's less than 1 in 20. It's a sobering thought, especially in a world where we're constantly surrounded by images of wealth and success. Despite the stories of overnight riches and viral success, true financial independence is incredibly rare. The reality is, most people will never experience the kind of financial freedom that allows them to live life entirely on their own terms. We're bombarded by tales of sudden windfalls and dramatic turnarounds, but the truth is that most wealth is built quietly, almost invisibly, over many years. It's the result of discipline, patience, and a series of smart, sometimes difficult decisions made day after day. This isn't about luck or flashy wins, it's about consistent habits and understanding the crucial difference between looking rich and actually being wealthy. Many people spend years chasing the appearance of success, buying things to impress others, while true wealth quietly accumulates in the background. The real challenge isn't just financial, it's deeply behavioral. It's about resisting the urge to spend impulsively, learning to delay gratification, and making choices that may not pay off immediately, but will set you up for long-term success. Building wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. It requires endurance, resilience, and the willingness to keep going even when progress feels slow or invisible. There will be setbacks, temptations, and moments of doubt, but those who stay the course are the ones who ultimately succeed. So let's pull back the curtain and ask the real question: why do so few people make it to that $2 million mark? And more importantly, what can you do differently to join that small, determined group? The answers aren't always obvious, and they rarely come from shortcuts or secret formulas. Instead, they're found in the daily routines, the mindset shifts, and the willingness to learn from both successes and failures. This isn't about shaming anyone for where they are right now, it's about showing the path forward. No matter your starting point, there are steps you can take to move closer to your financial goals. Wealth isn't reserved for the lucky few, it's the result of specific habits, a growth-oriented mindset, and the courage to make intentional choices, even when they're not easy. Understanding this is the first step to changing your financial future. The journey may be long, but every step you take brings you closer to lasting wealth and true independence. Before we can even begin to talk about building wealth, it's important to understand what wealth actually means. Most people think of wealth as having a high income, driving expensive cars, or living in a big house. But true wealth is much simpler and much more powerful than that. It all comes down to one key concept: net worth. Imagine for a moment that you sold everything you own: your car, your furniture, your electronics, even the clothes in your closet. Then, you use that money to pay off every single debt you have, from your mortgage to your credit cards to your student loans. The amount you have left over after all your debts are paid, that's your net worth. It's the most honest snapshot of your financial health because it strips away the distractions and shows you what you truly own, free and clear. Net worth isn't about how much money you make each month or how impressive your purchases look to others. It's about the value of what you actually own, minus what you owe. You could have a high salary and still have a low or even negative net worth if your debts outweigh your assets. In fact, someone who earns a modest income but saves diligently and avoids debt can end up with a higher net worth than someone who spends freely and borrows heavily, even if that person earns much more. It's not about how much comes in, but how much you keep and how much you owe. Your net worth is the foundation of your financial freedom. It's the money that works for you, generating income and opportunities, instead of you working endlessly for money. When your net worth grows, so does your ability to make choices about your career, your lifestyle, and your future. Every financial decision you make, big or small, either builds your net worth or chips away at it. Buying a new gadget on credit, taking out a loan for a car, or splurging on a vacation can all reduce your net worth if you're not careful. On the other hand, saving, investing, and paying down debt all help your net worth grow over time. When you buy things on credit, you're borrowing from your future self, and your net worth takes a hit. But when you invest, whether in stocks, real estate, or your own skills, you're planting seeds that can grow your wealth for years to come. Once you start thinking in terms of net worth, your entire approach to money changes. You begin to see every dollar as a tool, something that can either help you build lasting wealth or hold you back. You start to weigh your spending decisions more carefully, and you look for ways to turn your income into assets that appreciate over time. Ownership becomes your priority. Instead of focusing on consuming more, you focus on accumulating assets, things that put money in your pocket, not just take it out. You realize that true wealth isn't about what you spend, but about what you own and control. This shift in mindset is what separates those who build lasting wealth from those who simply look rich. It's not about appearances, it's about substance. When you understand and track your net worth, you take the first real step toward financial independence and a future you control. We often mistake income for wealth. It's easy to see a big paycheck and assume someone is rich, but the reality is far more nuanced. Income is simply the money flowing in, but wealth is what remains after the spending stops. The glare of money is loud and obvious: luxury cars, designer clothes, expensive vacations, but true wealth is quiet, subtle, and often invisible to the outside world. A big salary doesn't mean you're rich. Wealth is what you keep, not what you earn. Many people with high incomes live paycheck to paycheck, spending as fast as they earn. The difference between being rich and being wealthy is discipline, the ability to save, invest, and let your money work for you. It's not about how much you make, but how much you keep and grow. Many high earners end up broke because they spend everything. The temptation to upgrade your lifestyle with every raise is strong, but it's a trap. Overspending leads to stress, debt, and financial insecurity, no matter how much you earn. The cycle of earning and spending can be endless unless you break free and start building real wealth. True wealth isn't cash in the bank, it's assets that grow over time. Investments like stocks, real estate, and businesses quietly increase in value, often without drawing attention. These assets generate income and appreciate, creating a foundation for lasting financial security. Wealth is built slowly, through patience and smart decisions, not through flashy purchases. Too much cash loses value to inflation. Wealthy people invest instead. Inflation quietly erodes the purchasing power of money sitting idle. That's why the truly wealthy focus on putting their money to work, seeking out opportunities that outpace inflation and grow their net worth over time. Think of income as water from a tap. Wealth is using that water to grow crops, investments that multiply. If you let the water run down the drain, it's gone forever. But if you use it to nurture seeds, you create something that grows and multiplies, providing returns for years to come. This is the essence of building wealth, turning fleeting income into lasting value. You can see flashy spending, but you can't see someone's investment accounts. The outward signs of wealth are often misleading. Many people who appear rich are actually living on the edge, while those who quietly invest and save are building true financial strength behind the scenes. Real wealth is quiet, hidden in portfolios and equity, not on display. It's the silent accumulation of assets, the steady growth of investments, and the peace of mind that comes from financial security. The wealthy don't need to prove anything. They let their assets speak for themselves. It's the money not spent, quietly compounding in the background. Over time, small, consistent investments grow into significant sums thanks to the power of compound interest. This invisible engine works day and night, multiplying your wealth while you focus on living your life. The wealthy focus on growing assets, not showing off. They understand that true financial freedom comes from ownership of stocks, businesses, real estate, not from spending on things that lose value the moment you buy them. That's the real engine of wealth creation. It's not about the glare of money, but the quiet, steady accumulation of assets that work for you, building a future that's secure, resilient, and truly rich. How rare is a $2 million net worth? Only about 5 to 7% of US households reach it. That's 1 in 20 households, an exclusive club. Even being a millionaire is rare, only 1 in 10 households. Doubling from 1 to 2 million is a leap many never make. The difference isn't luck, it's relentless consistency. Most who reach this level aren't celebrities, they're regular people with extraordinary discipline. They save, invest, and let time work for them. The rarity of wealth reflects the rarity of these habits, but millions have done it, proving it's possible. Their path is a roadmap for anyone willing to follow. It's not about secret knowledge, it's about sticking to the basics. That's what makes the difference. Social media distorts our view of wealth. We see endless images of luxury, making it seem normal. But these are highlight reels, not reality. People post their best moments, not their debts or worries. This creates pressure to keep up, often leading to overspending and debt. Many flaunting wealth online are actually living paycheck to paycheck. True wealth is invisible, it's the money not spent. To build real wealth, ignore the illusion and focus on your own goals. The truly wealthy don't need to broadcast their success. They value quiet growth over public validation. What makes up a multi-million-dollar net worth? It's not just cash. The foundation is retirement savings, 401ks, IRAs, invested in low-cost funds over decades. Home equity is another major piece, growing as mortgages are paid down and property values rise. Wealthy people stay put, letting equity build. Other investments, brokerage accounts, businesses, real estate, add diversity. Only a small portion is held in cash for emergencies. The key is long-term ownership of productive assets, not speculation. This structure is consistent among the wealthy. It's a blueprint anyone can follow. The first million is the hardest, and it's true. Early on, your savings rate matters more than investment returns. Most growth comes from what you save, not what you earn on investments. Progress feels slow, and it's easy to get discouraged. This phase tests your patience and discipline. Most people give up or get distracted by lifestyle upgrades. Those who succeed automate saving and investing, making it a habit. They find satisfaction in progress, not consumption. The habits built on the way to the first million are the foundation for future wealth. It's about paying your future self first. That's the real test. After your first million, everything changes. Now, your investments do the heavy lifting. Compounding takes over. $1 million earning 7% brings in $70,000 a year, often more than you can save. Each year, your returns grow on themselves, accelerating your wealth. The second million comes faster than the first, sometimes in half the time. But you must stay the course. Don't get distracted or panic during downturns. Compounding only works if you leave your money invested. The wealthy keep saving, stay invested, and let time do the work. That's how fortunes are built. So, why do many stop at 1 million? It's not math, it's behavior. Hitting $1 million feels like a finish line, so people relax and spend more. Lifestyle creep sets in. Bigger homes, nicer cars, more vacations. Higher expenses slow down saving and investing. The compounding engine loses momentum. The journey to the second million stretches out, or stalls. The real test is staying disciplined after success. The wealthy keep their lifestyle steady and let compounding work. True financial freedom isn't about spending, it's about never worrying about money again. That's the mindset that builds lasting wealth.